Welcome to the latest edition of Here's What We Know, the podcast of unexpected conversations. And before we get started, as always, I want you to please visit our sponsors and check out their websites and check out their deals, because without them, this show doesn't happen. And speaking of deals and speaking of information you can use, that's what this guy does. His website is CoachChrisSpeaks.com. And I reached out to you because, by golly, Chris, you're a travel expert, or if you're watching the video of this, as your shirt says, you're a travel coach.
That's correct. I coach the deals, the brand.
How did you figure this out? I mean, because this was not always your job. You had a nice long career with AT&T, I think, right?
Right. Yeah, I retired. I took an early package. I was worked for the Bell system in marketing. Started in New York, transferred to Florida, Southern Bell, AT&T, and got my 30-year watch pension, etc. And I was only at the time age 52, and I loved travel. So I went around the world a few times, and travel was my interest, and I wanted to know. I've always been a wheeler dealer, how to beat the system. I mean, my theme is you don't have to be rich to live rich. So I interviewed a lot of hotel concierges, executives, hospitality companies, and I read every blog and interviewed tourists, like I said, hotel managers and timeshare people. Timeshare is a big part of what I do. And I learned every little inside secret, and I put it together. And I've always been a speaker, and I like to help people. So I started a speaking career. Now I'm 75 years old, and I'm still doing this and reaching out. And especially,
and you're on vacation now.
Yeah, I vacation. I believe in the power of vacation. Especially in today's environment, we all need, whatever age group we're in, political persuasion we're in, we all need to retreat, relax, renew, rejoice, and create those memories and experiences. And a lot of that's done through travel and leisure. And another one of my sound bites I use when I'm speaking is, remember, we travel not to escape life, but for life not to escape us. And whether you like to go to national parks, Broadway shows, you're a scuba diver, museums in Europe, whatever you might be. I'm a ski bum out here in Vail. I come out here every year for a month and a half. I live in Palm Beach, Florida, 5 golf courses in my backyard. Whether you're a cruise person, it's important to take that time. Studies have shown, as I speak in my speeches, the importance of travel and leisure, especially in today's climate where the country's divided, inflation. We all need to take that time. But the secret to travel and leisure is expensive. Hell, in today's economy, you know this, Gary, we're 35 trillion in debt. We got Biden now forced to fly coach on Air Force One. My kids' school lunch program, instead of macaroni and cheese, it's macaroni or cheese. Out in your neck of the woods, Hollywood, hell, pimps driving Kias, mafia families dining at the Olive Garden. Paris Hilton, changed their name. The Paris Red Roof Inn canceled their dogs' yoga classes. I mean, women, your neck of the woods, women are only getting one boob done. So we're all struggling out there. And what I try to do is show the importance of travel. We all know travel is important. We all have these memories and experiences. But now, in today's economy, it's not 3%. We know, I've done a spreadsheet. My particular inflation is about 40% when I figure in interest rates and cost of travel and insurance and everything else. So I just try to help people. My forte, my expertise is to know the deals.
What was the first big secret you learned when you decided, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna read every blog and I'm gonna talk to people and I'm gonna work with the people in the travel industry? What was the thing that you went, no, really?
Well, to answer that question, you look at the 2 biggest expenses in travel and leisure, and one is airfares And the second is accommodations. I think
Hmm.
if you look at the typical trip, whether it's a business trip, family reunion, wedding, family vacation, that eats up about 85% of the travel budget, airfares and accommodations. So I tried to focus on those two major expenses and how to beat the system. And that's what I've done. And that's what I've done.
It's interesting to me. So when people plan a vacation, does it help? Because there's two schools of thought. You plan way in advance, or you wait the last second to see if they have open things, and they're going to try to get rid of them. Where do you fall down on that? Or maybe I'm
I'm
completely wrong
definitely,
on both.
yeah, a little bit of both, but I'm sort of the guy that plans in advance. I
Hmm.
think if you plan in advance, you know where you're going, you could get the best, like I do. I plan my ski trips. Yeah, I'm out here in Vail for a month and a half, 2 months with two Argentine ex-Olympic skiers as roommates. And we plan in advance. I plan my airfares using frequent flyer miles so I don't pay to fly, and how I could book in my timeshares, or they call them vacation clubs now. If I don't book 13 months in advance, I don't get into the popular resorts such as Vail. So you have to know the system. The other aspect of this, and as I speak about, there's three really aspects of travel and leisure. One's the planning. Once you have that vacation plan, that trip, that bucket list trip plan, is something to look forward to, whether it's 6 months in advance or a year in advance. We're still working. We're looking forward to that. That's item number one. And number two, we have the adventure and the experience of that trip, whether it's going to museums, a reunion, a football weekend, a golf trip where you play golf with your friends, a yearly trip or a sporting event. Maybe it might be, whether it's Super Bowl. I've been to Wimbledon, President's Cups, Ryder Cups, etc. And number three, with that experience, with all the technology today and phones and social media, we actually capture that memory and experience through our pictures, and it becomes a legacy. So I think planning in advance, if you can, you're going to get the best rates. Now, obviously, everybody can't plan in advance. So, if it's a media trip, my team just got to the playoffs. I want to go see him play this playoff game, whatever, in football or whatever sport it might be, then you got to take a different approach. But overall, I believe if you could plan in advance, you want to know where you want to go, do it as far in advance as possible. You look forward to it. It sends endorphins to your brain, and you're going to save a heck of a lot of money.
So because you talked about your vacation club, and a lot of people that sometimes people are very shy about, because who wants to go sit through the 19 presentations, right? Who wants to go do that? And they feel like there's a certain amount of pressure. Now, I say that as a member of a vacation club, and we love it. We've had it for 17 years now. And matter of fact, we're leaving in a week and a half to go. So I say that with all transparency, but when people hear that, they're like, "Oh, was that a good idea?" What's your thoughts on it, Chris?
Okay, the big subject. Never, ever. Vacation clubs, they used to call them timeshares, greatest thing invented. But they're very complicated, and never, ever buy from a developer. Now, that leads to one of my big tips I'll give to your audience.
Okay.
When you want to travel, I tell my audience, stand up and repeat after Coach Chris, forget the word hotel. Repeat. Why? Because Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt, Westin, Disney, Starwood, Wyndham, even the Ritz-Carlton. They're all hotels, resorts, all beautiful 4 or 5-star places around the world, Europe, Asia, Hawaii, the Caribbean, etc. But they all have vacation club products. They used to call them timeshare. Now they're a points-based system. Every hotel chain has them. And if you're cognizant, and if you do the research like I do, you can buy resale for, a fraction of the cost. And then get buying, because maintenance prices have gone up. Why pay for a hotel? And I'll give you a perfect example. I'm right here. You can't see the fireplace. I'm looking out the window there. The stove stopped coming down. But a hotel room now in ski season in Vail. This is the high-end ski area. Look it up. I know. I check my computer every day. I have a Bonvoy app on my phone. It goes for right now about $1,100 a night, plus
Wow.
$80 to park your car. That's a nice hotel room.
Yeah.
A nice hotel room. Now, you might get a little cheaper, $800 for staying in, the a lesser quality, but you're not going to get a hotel room in Vail for under $800. Yet, you could go on the internet. You don't have to own these timeshares or vacation clubs. And my advice, 90% of the time, rent from an owner. The biggest website to do that is redweek.com. So a message or a big tip for your people, before you book that hotel room, pick your destination, go to redweek.com. This is where all these vacation clubs and timeshares are listed by owners that are trying to rent them out. They're trying to defray their maintenance costs. They're too old to travel. So you could rent where I am now. To give you an idea, I'm in a one-bedroom, sleep 6. I got 2 big screen TVs, full kitchen. Now with the full kitchen, you're going to save a hell of a lot of money on dining. You don't have to go out to restaurants, especially with the family, 3 times a day. That's a huge savings. I have a garage. I have a fireplace. I'm trailer trash. I feel like Donald Trump. And when you feel, I figure my cost of goods, when I figure my maintenance and everything into this, it actually comes out to less than $200 a night. So a hotel room now is costing $1,000 a night that sleeps 4. And I have a full, basically 1-bedroom condominium that sleeps 6, fireplace, balcony, and free transportation again to Vail. I just get on a ski shuttle and ride in. That's free. I have a garage for my car, for my rental car. So whenever you think about travel, the typical vacation reunion, think about renting a timeshare, where they don't call them timeshares anymore. They call them vacation clubs, from an owner. And there's 2 popular websites. One is redweek.com. And the other one, people could join TUG. That's Timeshare Users Group. TUG, I think it's 2.org. And this is where owners that own these places for years, they can't vacation there, where they come in different sizes, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, sleep 8, 3 bedrooms. Now, you're a golfer, Gary.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this our first discussion. You like to play golf. Golf's expensive. Accommodation are expenses. Hilton Head is one of the golf capitals besides Palm Springs and obviously where I live, Palm Beach Gardens area, PGA National. But Hilton Head has like 12 golf courses. You could stay in the Marriott. It's called Heritage Club. You can rent from an owner. Now, right across the street from where they play the week after the Masters, that Harbor Town golf course. And you could stay in a unit that sleeps 8, full kitchen. You could see the lighthouse if you follow golf from your window. And you're going to get golf for free for your 8 people or 6 people, your golfing buddies. I use that as an example. And you're going to get accommodations for 8, no cart fees, no green fees. And you can rent this from an owner. Now, you with me? I'm not exaggerating here. Look it up on Red Week. The name of the resort is Heritage Club, Marriott's Heritage Club on Hilton Head Island, and rent it out for less than $2,500 a week.
Wow.
$2,500. And this is luxury accommodations. Again, free Wi-Fi. And you're not going to pay sales tax. And the location's right there in Harbor Town area. See, if you know Hilton Head for golfers, Sea Pines Plantation, that's where they play the golf tournament, the Harbor Town Classic, the week after the Masters. So this is all possible. You just have to do your research, know what you want to do. And like I say, you could live this lifestyle of privilege, as I call it, for literally pennies on a dollar.
Look at
These
that.
are
Look at the tips we got.
inside
Redweek.com and tug2.org. All right.
right.
So right there,
And
that's worth the
yeah,
price of admission right there.
and it also applies if you want to go to Hawaii. You might want to go to Hawaii. A lot of people vacation there, Caribbean, Disney World, all these resorts. Now there's the timeshares, thousands of them. My recommendation is stay with the hotel chain brands because they have safety, cleanliness, luxury. You know, the other one I stay at in my backyard at home is Marriott's. If you like the beach, Marriott's Ocean Point. Why? Because you have everything there. You have tennis, you have pickleball, 3 swimming pools, kids' activities, water aerobics every day, and luxury units overlooking the ocean for less than Motel 6 prices. Again, in the off season, I'm not saying Christmas week, Thanksgiving week, you could stay in a 2-bedroom unit there, sleeps 8. I mean, full resort amenities, everything from basketball. I do water therapy every day in the classes there. Beautiful facilities. And you're going to be paying, $200 a night that sleeps 8. Again, if you rent from an owner, you're not even going to be paying sales tax. This is a sort of an inside secret, and you don't have to own now. You don't have to go out and spend $60,000, $80,000 signing up for a week in timeshare. Just rent from an owner. Try it out.
I think it's fascinating.
And then if you like it, and you like the same place, God, I love this resort on the ocean. My kids love it. The weather's warm. It's clean. It's beautiful. There's activities, kids' activities, splash pools, everything. In every sport, there's tennis, like I said, pickleball, weight rooms, exercise rooms, sauna, steam room, the whole bit, full resort amenities for less than the Motel 6 prices. So that's the way to go. No upfront money, just pay to rent from an owner. And then if you like it, the next step is to say, hey, should you own? And if you decide you think you like to go to the same resort, you want a little flexibility, only buy these vacation clubs. They're now in the point systems on the resale market. Maintenance has gone way up. And so just be very careful. And but I would stick with the major hotel chains like I have done. I've traveled all over the world, and I've been to 38 of the Marriott vacation clubs. By the way, they merged with Westin and Sheraton. So they're all one company now. The Westin Resorts, timeshares or vacation clubs, Sheraton and Marriott. They also have city locations in San Francisco. You're in California, San Diego. That I'm sure we discussed Newport Coast has a beautiful resort overlooking the ocean there. You're a golfer, right? Adjacent to the Pelican Hill golf courses, 2 great golf courses there. And again, these are designed with full kitchens, washer, dryers, daily activities for your family. And you're going to get the best bang for your buck vacationing that way. So,
Coach Chris we've already come up with all kinds of great ideas. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. I got some more questions about other deals. That's on the way with Coach Chris Speaks with Here's What We Know.
At Reed Animal Hospital, they treat your pet as if it was their own. Now, I'm a very satisfied customer. I can tell you they mean that. It's not a chain. It truly is about helping you and your pet enjoy life together. Dr. David Reed and his entire staff take the time to get to know you and your pet. I can tell you what I like. He's helped me better understand what my dog Luna needs and how I can take care of her more efficiently and kindly. Find them online at reedanimalhospital.com. 2 locations, Saratoga and Campbell. Little secret from me to you, Dr. Reed actually gives you his cell number so he can answer your questions and concerns. They really are committed to you and your pet. reedanimalhospital.com.
I'm with Mike and Brenda Council with another real Mike Council plumbing and rooter story. And let's talk about the early days. What was it like?
Well, when we first started, the phone was by the bed.
So just the two of you?
Exactly.
And I would answer the emergency calls in the middle of the night. I'd wake up and answer them.
2:00, I'm headed out the door.
So 30 years ago.
30 years and 6 months.
But I hear Mike Council Plumbing might have had its beginnings when you were, what, a kid?
Yeah, I grew up in a little one-room shack, and we had an outhouse out back.
An outhouse?
That's correct.
Oh, my.
And ended up with a great appreciation for indoor plumbing.
Yeah, I guess. And when you finally got it?
It was a great day.
Since 1993, the people of San Jose and the South Bay have trusted Mike Council Plumbing and Rooter for all their plumbing needs. From emergencies like a drain backup or water leak, maybe you need a new water heater or fixture installed, a gas appliance hooked up. Give Mike Council a call at 408-217-1002 or go to mcplumbing.com, an official partner of the San Jose Sharks.
You're in clean hands with Mike Council Plumbing and Rooter.
So, Coach, we talked about the great tips on rent from an owner when you go to these. If you find a resort you like, which is great things. But one of the things, how about some tips on, as you said you have a car rental. How do you do the car rentals? What's your tips on that?
Yeah, well, a lot of people have to rent a car. I believe I'm with corporate rates. If you work for a corporation, or ask your friends that work for corporations. My son was a big shot accountant with Price Waterhouse. He rented cars, always using that corporate rate. It's 40% off. If you're ex-military like I am, I usually have military discounts. AAA, AAA has discounts. And the best website or resource to really compare all these rates is auto/AUTO/.com. Put in your location, the size of the car you want, where you're like, obviously, I got to have an SUV all-wheel drive. Maybe you don't need that. And that's going to compare your rates. So join a loyalty program. I'm with National. I did that through my corporate career with AT&T. And now I rent through them because I always get upgraded. I pay for a mid-size car, and I'm in a full-size car. And they recognize my corporate rate, even though I'm retired. And that saves me about 40%. So that's one way to beat the system there. And if you don't have a corporate rate, then, check the AAA rate if you're a member of American Automobile Association, military rates, etc. Or you have friends or family that work for a corporation. You get their corporate ID code. You enter that. And that'll save you 40 or 50% off of car rentals.
Have you tried the Turo thing? Where just the way you do
I'm not familiar with Turo, but believe it or not, I've compared that. Obviously, I get a better rate for myself with National.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is airports are convenient, but they do add on additional tax. You'll find out if you could rent on a non-airport location, sometimes you could save 10, 15% because they tack on all these airport fees and taxes, etc. So I would say those are some tips that, but if you just want to compare, get into a loyalty club, because after you build up loyalty in days, then you get free day rentals, etc. You get upgrades on what's called an executive level with National. Hertz has a Hertz #1 club. But the biggest tip to save money is try to get a corporate rate. If you don't have one, ask your relatives, friends, other business associates, that work for a corporation. And that could add up to about like I'm getting now, a 40% discount. I rent a car for a month from National. I have a SUV all-wheel drive, which you need up here in the snow.
Wow. So another good tip. You just got to ask these things. Okay. Because I'm just going down the list because, I'm always looking to save a buck. I've got teenagers. So how about when it comes to food? Any tips on food?
Yeah. Well, again, with the timeshares, they have kitchens. I'm not rich. Like I said, I stop when I'm coming out here. I use myself for example. Costco's a half an hour away. I stop up on Costco and I bring all the food in here, etc. Also, the other thing you can do is ask the hotel concierges if they had discounts other things, on social media, Groupons, Groupons, etc. Change the zip code where you're vacationing at to see what discounts they have. So Living Social, I think, or Groupon, you could put in the zip code where you're traveling to get different restaurants. But I would ask where you're staying, like, what are the local rates as far as concierges? Usually they have deals with certain restaurants, etc. That's my tip on restaurants. But the big save, and especially if you're a family, is, you're not, and Vail, it's very expensive here. I mean, this is like a whole different planet as far as expenses. If you have the value, like I'm in a timeshare, you stop at the supermarket, get what you want. They all have grills if you want to grill outside, barbecue in a nice environment. And that way it's going to save your family a lot of money.
See, fascinating stuff. I like that. Really. And isn't that what you found? I would think that the majority of us are so convenience oriented, right? We just want to do one thing and be there. And it would behoove you to take an hour and to investigate these things, investigate the redweek.com, to investigate the Groupon, do the search on the rental cars. Because the truth of it is, I think the travel industry is banking on you not doing that, right?
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people just go to, book a hotel online. That gets us into another thing, getting back to airfares. Airfares are a big expense. They've gone up 30% now. They're all booked, totally booked. That's why you need to make advance reservations. If you don't have to fly, obviously during holiday times, we all know about the tragedies with the cancellations, the delays, the expense, and holidays. So if you don't have to fly during the holiday season, my advice is don't. Use their websites, pick the airline of their choice. And I fly for free. The biggest tip I could give you, people, your audience, is pick the airline of your choice, where you live, where you travel to, the one that's going to get you to that destination, and get their credit card. Every airline is associated with a bank, has their own credit card. For instance, American Express is with Delta. I'm with an American. I fly a lot, obviously, to Vail, and I used to have a second home in Lake Tahoe, so I used American Airlines. But a lot of people fly Southwest, United. Pick the airline of your choice. If you're on the West Coast, you go to Hawaii a lot. There's Hawaiian Airlines, Aloha Airlines. They get you there. They all have bank credit cards. And you sign up for their loyalty program, and you sign up for initial bonus. Now, I think I mentioned to you on the phone, to give you an idea, I fly American. There's a deal out there where you could buy a pack of gum. Just have a good, decent credit score, 700 or above. Apply for their American Advantage credit card through Barclays Bank. And if you get approved, you're going to get 70,000. It changes, 60 or 70,000 American Airlines miles. Now, you leverage this with your spouse. That's 120,000 miles for buying 2 packs of gum, making a purchase of $20. In addition to that, you're going to get free baggage check-in for your traveling parties. So instead of, paying $35, $40, to check your luggage, it's free. And another benefit that I like is you get priority boarding. Once you're a member of the travel club, you have a frequent flyer number, you have their bank credit card. After first class boards and business class boards, you get to board the plane ahead of the other coach passengers. So you're never having to fight for that overhead compartment to store your carry-on bags. So that's a big tip. So again, to summarize, the big savings on these credit cards with airlines are the sign-up bonuses. Sign-up bonuses. Delta has one, used to be the business card. You got 70,000 miles for spending $2,000. You could put your car insurance like I did, If I remember on a Delta card, my homeowner's insurance, that's the minimum. Boom. I wound up with 70,000 Delta miles. And tip number 2 is be very careful. Once you accumulate these miles, you go to their website, you have to spend the time to do the research to get the best bang for your buck. I mean, sometimes to fly round trip, they want 90,000 miles. If you do your research, maybe you make an extra stop, you could fly round trip for under 30,000 miles. So it gets complicated. But if you know the system the way I do, again, I'm going to keep repeating, you don't have to be rich to live rich. I'm flying home from Reno, Nevada. I'm making 2 stops instead of 1. I'm saving like 30,000 miles. I think that the tickets wound up costing me for the one way to return home when I go back to Florida, like 15,000 points. So do your due diligence, learn the system, learn the code, the insider travel hacks, the secrets, and, any airline. Again, here's the other tip. People with families, Southwest Airlines, very popular airline. There's no baggage check-in fees, I think, boarding. They have what's called a Southwest Companion Pass, where you sign up for the credit cards, you accumulate enough. They call them rapid reward points. Southwest currency is called rapid reward points. And again, they have 3 or 4 different credit cards, business credit cards, personal credit cards. And you do enough spending, you get enough rapid reward points that not only do you fly free for 1 or 2 years, depending on your timing. If you time it right, you and a companion, you name a companion, flies free. So if you use their credit cards in the most judicial manner, put in all your expenses on there, such as, like I said, I put insurance in as an example, my maintenance charges to my timeshares. You're going to wind up flying for free for 2 years with a companion on Southwest Airlines. They call this the Southwest Companion Pass. And I had a client I gave a talk to where he called me up, and his goal, it's on my business card. We look forward to servicing your dreams. And his dream was to take his son to 5 baseball parks during the summer. He just liked baseball and wanted to see parts of the country. And I said, well, I think the best travel deal is you need the Southwest Companion ticket for you and your son. He listened to my advice, got the credit cards, and he wound up flying to all these destinations, 5 of them, during the summer for free. I mean, there is a tax. There's like a $5 or $8 tax per flight. And, it worked out. So what I'm saying, again, if you sign up for credit cards, pick the airline that gets you to your desired destination, and then get their credit card sign-up bonus. And some of them are better than others, and they run different promotions. The best one, without a doubt, is, like I told you, is the American. And for your audience, I'm going to give out the inside secret. You need this code. Go to best travel tip of the day. I'm glad hope they're listening. It's myaviatorcard.com. I repeat, myaviatorcard.com. And this is with American Airlines Advantage Miles. It's sponsored by Barclay Bank, and you enter this promo code 1 on the application. It's a credit card application, 167839. 167839. Fill out the application, and you're going to get, after your first purchase now, it doesn't have to be $1,000. Like I said, it could be a pack of gum, fill up your gas tank once, and you're going to get 60,000 American airline miles dumped into your frequent flyer account. That's worth over $1,000. Now, you leverage that with your spouse. That's just how you fly for free.
How about this half hour? Huh? This has been like the best tips that again, I tried to stay out of Coach Chris's way because he's got things to say. And we've got a link to his website in the show notes. As you heard, you can have him work with you independently on your travel needs, or you can have him come speak at your group. Chris, I knew I was going to enjoy this, and I thank you for your time. I'm sure you have slopes to hit now.
Well, I take the day off. I'm like I told you. I'm getting a little older. I can't do what I used to do. So I've learned to do it in moderation, 3 or 4 days a week, give my muscles a little chance to relax. But, again, your audience, another tip from Coach Chris, like I told you when we started, just remember the best things in life aren't the material things. They're your health. And a lot of the health is through memories and experiences, sports, travel. I don't care if you like cruises. Here's another tip for your audience before I forget. A lot of people, I'm not a cruise guy now. Don't ask me who's better. But if you want the best newsletter to get the greatest discounts on cruises now, it's vacations2go.com. It comes out weekly. It's free. It's an email. Sign up for that. And I have found through
Is it
my
Vacations
research,
to go or to go?
Vacations2, T-O, go.com. And that'll list cruise specials and everything, 80, 90% off. And I have found that is the best tool if you're, a cruise type people. That's your vacation desire. Leisure desire to go on cruises. I am not the expert to go, but my research and my dealing the last 20 years with a lot of clients, and I speak all over the country, that's the best tool or resource. That's a better word for it. Resource to use to get the deals for the cruises.
Chris, another great tip. That's Vacations2go. Spell it out. Vacations2go.com for cruises. My friend, thank you so much. I've enjoyed this. I hope we get to do it again.
Yeah, I'd love to do it again. I could speak for the next hour, but your audience, again, vacations are important for your health, wellness. I've done all the studies. I speak to corporate groups. I speak basically to associations. I'm also a stand-up comedian. So I do the entertainment. I do the breakout sessions type of things where I can answer questions like you've asked me. So if they have an organization that they belong to, they think might benefit from some of these tips in a more personal way, I'd be glad to speak to their organization. All the information, how to contact me, what I speak about. I have videos. Also, if they want more travel tips, I have a YouTube channel. Go to my YouTube channel, Coach Chris Speaks. Search it under YouTube. They're going to get more travel tips, and I'll be glad to help them as part of your audience. Or, right on my website, CoachChrisSpeaks.com, there's a contact thing, free discovery call. I'll spend 15, 20 minutes, personalize my advice for your particular audience members that might need my help or guidance on things we didn't discuss today. But I'm here to service their dreams. Like I say, it's right on my business card. We look forward to servicing your dreams. So I thank you for this opportunity to speak to you and your audience, and just safe and happy travels.